That's the way Mel and I have operated for many years. In fact, guys, Melody is the second longest running distributor in It Works Global, right up there close to us, and she has been totally amazing. She was the first ambassador in this company. I just went out and went all in through all the adversities that she went through. She got to dream, and she got the rap bug, and she knew that if she could get it on enough people that things would begin to happen. And I've had the pleasure of working with Mel all these years, and had the pleasure of sitting on the board with her in the Millionaires Club together. Mel and Blair and Rob and I, we traveled all over the world to some exotic islands, and we played in places you cannot imagine. And it's all because of this business, and it's because we said yes, and we just determined that we would not quit. It didn't matter what adversities come our way. We're just going to get up and fight harder than the adversities when they came. And Mel's been with us every little hiccup we've had, from product shortages in the old days, and software crashes where we overrun the ability of software to handle the business, and several different things that come our way. And it's all, I call it high class growing, grow $1 billion brand. And so, Mel, I love you. I appreciate you sticking with us all these years, and the vision and the leadership. You've stepped out and stepped up, and you've just carried leadership to a whole nother level. And I'm just so blessed that you're part of our family and part of the It Works family, and part of the real legendary legacy. It's set the foundation for where we back when it was just a couple years after that we had the vision to run with Mark. You showed up, and I remember Blair calling me one afternoon. I didn't even know who Blair McFarlane was. He wanted to know about this comp plan. And next thing you know, we had you here in North Carolina, and we had Mark to come over. And it's pretty much history. We just made up our mind that we was going back to back. We was going to take this to the next level. And I appreciate the leadership all these years. But Mel, we're in the place that you and I have only dreamed of our entire life, to be exactly where we are. What we've done to this point, folks, is nothing compared to what we're going to do. But your posture to do it with us. It's not just 4, 5, or 10 of us taking it to the next level. You all get to go now, because we're in the second wave of big business. We've rebranded ourselves. We're ahead of a trend right now. We're not following, trying to chase the trend. No, we're setting the trend. That is a fact. It's not because we've been here long enough that we understand where we are. Mel, share your vision and your passion with the people, your story. But also, I was intrigued. You sent me a video over the weekend where you were over in Vegas at a women's conference. Mm-hmm. And what you and I have been doing all these years to be as successful as we've gotten, but nowhere to where we're going. I want you to share on that in your story about the top 1% of the money earners in direct sales, exactly how it just takes the grind of the three-way phone calls, the three-way messaging, and that is the most effective, efficient way to build a business. Mel, come on and share your story, and then we can go into why you're so excited. And then I want you to cast a vision for the future.
Oh, thank you, Rusty. Wow. Now my head's even bigger. Oh, my goodness. I have enjoyed every single moment since I signed up in this business. Blair and I had been in network marketing for 15 years before It Works found us. I didn't find It Works. It found us. And we had, we tried several different companies. We were with one company for 10 years, and we just never made the kind of money that we thought we should be making. We believed in the industry. We believed in the power of network marketing. But for whatever reason, we were in at the wrong time with the wrong product, the wrong marketing plan. It just wasn't the right company. And I was in the process of working up the ladder in a very pink cosmetic company in 2005 when I got introduced to this amazing product, the body wrap, the ultimate applicator. That thing, I got so excited because it worked. And I think a lot of times, you guys, now I'm probably preaching to the choir here I recognize a bunch of names here. You guys have been in the business for a while, and you know the power of that wrap, that crazy little wrap. It made me a fortune. I got excited about it. And then I started sharing it with everybody. And Blair got excited about it. And immediately, I was no longer in that pink company. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to, give it a second thought. I saw the power of this body wrap when I got immediate results in 45 minutes. And everybody who I put that wrap on got immediate results within 45 minutes. It worked, y'all. It worked. I didn't have to know anything else other than it worked. And all I did was get excited. I promise you, I got excited about that wrap, and I just started wrapping people. And it's like Rusty said, I figured it out. If I could wrap enough people, then I could find the ones who were going to build this business. And that's exactly what I did. Little by little, I would find a Tina Hatcliffe. And then I found, an April Vaughn and some other leaders. And I found, Jerry. And I'm saying that to say that it wasn't all up to me. And that was a good thing because, I actually didn't know what I was doing when I first signed up in this. I didn't know the comp plan, and Blair did. He called Rusty to find out exactly what do we need to be doing for me, because I was putting in a lot of people. I mean, I went 72 wide right away. I mean, just like that. And I didn't know. I mean, I could have been whatever. I don't know how many people it takes to become a double diamond or triple diamond or whatever, but I could have done that with some of the things that we're learning today, but I didn't know any better. I didn't even know what a loyal customer was as far as how to sign them up. I was signing them up, making them pay for as a distributor and getting on a 80 BV auto ship. Because back then we had two options. You could either buy your business builder kit for $299 and you got product and all this stuff, or you could pay $35 and become a distributor that way, but you had to earn your way to earning fast starts. You had to accumulate some volume. And so I was just signing people up at $35 a pop, getting them on an 80 BV auto ship. I didn't know what I was doing. I was total ignorance on fire. And it was like 3 months into that Pam Souter came and did a meeting for us. And she was explaining the loyal customer program. And I'm sitting in the back going, it's free? I mean, they don't have to pay money? And so I raised my hand and I said, I've been charging people $35 and getting them on an 80 BV auto ship minimum. And she said, well, honey, just keep doing what you're doing. It's working. So, yeah, I mean, you don't have to know what you're doing. But I was excited. And this business just took off for me. It took off because I was excited and the product worked. So you got to have that balance there. If you've got a product that doesn't work and you're excited, you might sell it for a little bit and get some people to buy it, but you won't continue to build a big business if the product isn't any good. So if you got a great product and you're not excited, then you ain't gonna do anything with it either, because you're not putting that out there, and people are gonna be like, well, I don't think she's very excited about her product, so it must not be worth anything, must not work. So you got to have that balance. An amazing product with excitement, put action into it, and just talk to somebody, and boom, you're gonna grow your business. And, like Rusty said, there was a lot of adversity along the way. There were lots of challenges along the way. I mean, you got to realize that when Rusty and I were in the early stages, Rusty had already been in the business, 3 or 4 years before I came on board. And I came on in 2005, and the company was already 4 years old. So, we didn't have anything. We didn't have brochures. I mean, what we had was very primitive looking. We didn't have a decent website. We didn't have the support that you guys have today. We didn't have squat. I mean, I was embarrassed to send people to my website. And if we needed to we started figuring out some ways that we were marketing to people, and we created our own brochures. We created, what to expect with the wrap. We told them nothing was going to happen, or something was going to happen, or it was going to happen over the next 3 days, or they were going to get a bloat. And, we created all that stuff. If we needed it, we created it. And to the point that we created the shirts and all this stuff. And finally, corporate caught up with it, and they started giving us more some more marketing materials and things like that. I mean, our Blitz card, let's see, we need Lauren Ortiz. Can you please mute your screen there? Thank you. So, we came up with our own things because all corporate was doing was supplying product, and we were selling it as quick as we could. And so, it didn't take you having to know everything up front, because I certainly didn't know. I took off and hit the ground running, and people that came on with me took off and hit the ground running. And we were just wrapping people. I mean, seriously, we didn't have social media, so we had to meet people one-on-one. And this is where what Rusty was saying last week. I was at an event, the most powerful women in network marketing. And those women that were on that stage were seven-figure earners, all sharing the secrets of network marketing. What does it take? And, the power of network marketing. And we are a 1%, powerhouse in network marketing, people that are taking it serious, and there are certain things that you have got to be serious about if you're going to build a big, huge business. And I mean, this is huge. It's not rinky-dink. You can treat it rinky-dink. You can, just treat it like a hobby and only make $500 a month. Or if you treat it like the big business that it is, you can buy your freedom. And that's what my husband and I did. We bought our freedom. I bought Blair's freedom within 3 years of having signed up in It Works. And it was just a dream, such a dream come true. But it wasn't easy. And nothing worth doing is ever going to be easy. I want you to understand that. It is going to take work. And you got to pre-qualify people when you're talking to them. They got to know. Don't be afraid to tell them it's going to take work. One of the things that I can't stand is when people are so desperate to get a distributor that they'll tell that prospective distributor anything. They'll tell them anything to get them to sign up. Oh, it's going to be easy. All you got to do is sign up, get yourself on this auto ship, and we're going to place people under you. And, bull. That's not true. I mean, yes, we may place someone under you, but only if you're working. We don't just give it away. I never had anything handed to me, and I certainly am not real easy to hand away anything that I'm doing because I worked hard for it. But if it's somebody that is deserving, that's showing up, that's putting in some effort, then yes, because of social media, we got to do something with all the people that can come in. And so that changed the whole face of our business when social media came on board in late 2011 into 2012. We did have a rap shortage, but because of social media, I'll never forget, we ended 2011 at 49 million in volume as a company. 49 million in volume. Mark, at that conference that year in 2012, in January, he said, we're going to do 100 million. We're going to double the company. We're going to do 100 million in 2012. And our mantra was one team, one mission, 100 million. Because that was a serious number as a company. When your company reaches 100 million, you start to get some recognition from the other network marketing leaders and for the direct selling association. You have to be at least at 100 million before anybody will take you serious. So in 2012, Mark came out with all these bonuses. Then it was called the good bonus, which is today is like our rank up bonuses. But that within 6 months, we doubled the company. Instead of a year, we doubled. We hit 100 million in the first 6 months. Well, along with that came some product shortages, the wraps. We were on back order We couldn't get them quick enough. They couldn't come over from the manufacturing facility. Luis couldn't make them fast enough over there in Mexico. It was frustrating. People quit because of it. But a lot of us, we recognized that this was a good problem. This was a high-class problem. And we knew there wasn't any other network marketing company out there that was running out of product like we were running out of it. You know? I mean, that's a good problem to have. When you have a product that is so in demand that you run out of it, just like this year running out of the ThermoFight X, you know, getting things on back order, coffee's on back order. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but you better be jumping up and down saying hallelujah, because people want our products. They wouldn't be running out and flying off the shelf if people didn't want our product. I've never seen in my 15 years of network marketing before I got into It Works, I never saw the kind of excitement for our products like I see people have for our products. You know, in the other companies that Blair and I had been involved with, we weren't excited about our products. We were only excited about our marketing plan. And, you know, there would be people on stage saying, who cares what the product is? If you don't like it, bury it in the backyard, throw it away, give it to your worst enemy, whatever, but just buy it and get other people to do the same thing. And that's what we did. And that's why we weren't successful, because you got to have more than a marketing plan to be excited about. You got to have the marketing plan and the products to go along with it. And I can promise you, we have the products. The products are amazing. I don't know of another network marketing company that once you've been involved with it and you quit, that people will turn themselves into customers and still keep buying the product. That's unheard of. I mean, in the other things that I was involved in, I didn't make myself a customer. I could have cared less about those products. I didn't want them. They were too expensive. They didn't work, whatever. And with this, we have people that change themselves over to a customer, even if they leave to go to another company. That's powerful. That's powerful. I still have customers today that left to go to another company, and they're doing whatever in other companies, but they still order greens. They're still ordering wraps. You know, they're loving the coffee. And I think pride is keeping them from coming back on a lot of them. But we do have people that are coming back today. So always remember, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, and if people leave, you just need to wish them well. Wish them well. Don't let them mess with your team or whatever. If you have to unfriend them. But don't be ugly with them, because the chances are real good that they're going to come back. And we've seen a lot of people coming back to our company right now. So we've come a long ways, baby. And we still got a long ways to go. And, you know, Rusty and I both know the integrity of Mark Pentecost. We know that man gets and does what he says. If he says it, I believe it, because he's never failed us. You know, is he perfect? No. But he is the man that God picked to do the job for this company. And I totally believe God's hand's all over this business. So, Rusty, what do you got to say?
Let me piggyback off of that. I believe my entire life has been nothing more than a preparation. All 56 years of existence is nothing more than a preparation for 2019. Mel, in the last 60 days, I've seen things happen, and I know it's being consistent and being faithful to what we've done for almost 18 years now, and you right there behind me, and some other leaders that's coming right in behind you. For the consistency, I've seen things start to materialize and fall into place. There's absolutely no way that we had anything to do with it other than being very faithful and being a Christian-based company, a faith-based company, that we don't deviate from that. Often I do lives every day, and when you put God first and you put family second, you put your fitness third, and you put your finances fourth. That is in a particular order, and that's exactly, I postured myself all these years after Mark, and it's paying off. But now it's time for you guys that we've held in there all these years, and we knew what we had, and you knew where we were going to go. You know, I've not woke up by an alarm clock in 18 years. Mrs. Lackey's not had to do anything for 18 years now, other than being a full-time wife and a full-time mother. And I believed when I left the bank that Robin and my daughters were worth it. So I walked in and fired him. I come home and joined Mark because he sold me a vision for 7.5 months. And I believed in his integrity because I listened as a banker, as a negotiator for a major bank, the inconsistencies in his story. Not one time in every day of speaking to him for 7.5 months did anything deviate from stay very consistent. And I said, this is my time to make my break for freedom. But I knew that if I stuck with it long enough, that I could help a lot of other people make their breaks for freedom. And I would not know anybody on this live today, Mel or Ronnie, the people, or Teresa Garrett. I've known all you guys for 10 plus years. Mel up about 16 years now. If it had not been for It Works Global and making my break for freedom, it's people I met years ago, 20 years ago, that I've just now started talking to through other avenues because of It Works Global. I just see the handiwork of God coming in, and things are beginning to happen because we've been humble, we've stayed with it, and we don't mind. I'll promise you something about Melly McFarlane. When it gets rough, we get rough right back with it. And through all the, if you want to challenge us, we're probably the wrong two to challenge because we won't quit till we win. And we don't do it for us because when we look at your lives and the freedom that we want you to enjoy life like she and I get to enjoy it, that means every single day we do what we want to do because we want to do it, not because we have to do it. But I promise you, nobody in this company works harder than Melanie McFarlane and myself. Up early, go to bed late, and we just throw a full effort into it, not because we have to, because every day we're excited to come in and help change somebody else's life. Because when we look at you, we don't just look at you. We see, do you have any children? Do you have any grandchildren? What can we do to help you become successful in order to impact the future of your children, your grandchildren's life, to create that legacy? But we don't like to just call it legacy. We want it's legendary legacy. And at that point, I know if you ever get a taste of this freedom, the most noble thing you'll ever go after is your freedom. And you show Melody or I anything better than what we got, we'll do it. But in fact, here's the facts. There's not a stronger compensation plan on planet Earth with everything that he gives you. We pay out 53 cents of every dollar through the compensation plan. That does not count all these bonuses. That's over and above. That's an addition to. Nobody else is doing it. And by the way, if you find somebody who's had a better weight loss story than mine, I'll join your company. I'll buy your products. I promise. In the last 12 years, I was sick. I didn't know if I was going to live or not. The doctor told me it was over. Naturally, in 12 years, now it wasn't overnight. It's 507 pounds in 12 years. Melody, in almost 10 years, I've not had a medication in my body, and I've not been sick once. And we're up at 4 a.m. every morning. We work very hard, and we're just out pouring into people. I kind of do things the old way. I still love to meet people and develop relationships and love on people. See, it's the unconditional love that we had. It's like Christ, the unconditional love God had for each one of us. I have the same passion in my heart. And, we all grow into every single day. I have staked my future, drew the line in the sand, and planted a flag with Mark Pentecost. Because here's the kind of guy he is. 90 days after I left the bank and walked away from $550,000 a year because I was gone all the time, I was stressed beyond your wildest imagination. Mark called me one morning. He was very honest. He said, we're broke. I said, what's that mean? He said, we don't have any money. I said, I understand what broke means, but what I meant to ask you is what you going to do about it? This was a make or break for me. He said, I just mortgaged my house. I flipped the other one I had so I can pay you. Now, he put his family's way of life on the line. He believed in what he was doing so much. And at that point, I said, back to back for the rest of our lives, we're going to take this to the #1 company in the entire world. And we're well on our way because we're setting the trend now. We're way ahead of the trend. Everybody else is trying to chase and catch up to us. And now we're making our second break, our second big run. And you're in a position like you've never been in your entire life to go out and create the freedom. Now, if you put the action to it, like Melody said it 3 times, it takes the action. You can't think about it. You can't wish about it. You've prayed long enough. Get off your knees. God has just answered your prayer. Don't get it like some of the ladies in my church. They're older, or my father's a minister. I told him, I said, if you get off your knees, he's heard you back in the 40s when you prayed about it. You ain't got to beg him. Just put the action to it. There's 6,000 promises in the Bible. They don't mean anything until you apply that to your life. When you take that offer of contract that Christ gave you and said, I'm going to apply this to my life, the abundance of blessings will start to come in. So you cannot be distracted. You cannot be deluded for where you're going. You got to get really focused, get you a plan of action, follow our little bitty simple system. Our product line really works. You know, I had to go through a lot of treatment medically, and I hadn't been sick in almost 10 years. And I attribute it because I put the right things, and now I work out really hard every single day. I mean, I work hard at it, but I have to give my body what it needs so I'll have the energy and the strength to go do what I do on a physical basis. And at 56, I'm kind of excited about where I'm going and where I'm headed with my strength and my endurance. But I'm more excited because I see your lives begin to change. Now, Melody, we got some people on here that I had no idea that had cars repossessed when they got in, and they were in foreclosure. We got people on this live right now because of It Works Global. They got out of foreclosure, and now It Works Global is making their house payments. We got people right now that extra $500, that extra $1,000 is really kicking in. Melody, we got so many people on this live right now. They're set up this month to go double, to go triple, to go triple. We got leadership. It's evolving. People, it's going to change in their life forever. They have no idea that the momentum they already created. So you and I can sit up there because we've seen it and see it from the 10,000 foot view, and we see how it's starting to shape up. But I've never seen a bigger excitement in my 18 years, almost 18 years of history with It Works Global, and see if people say the promotions we had in our organization this past month, massive amounts of ambassadors, presidentials, triples, doubles, diamonds, and like Alonda. She's been killing herself all these years. She's all the way to double diamond. And I was talking to her this morning, and you know, it's the persistence and consistency. It keeps you to where you're going. And when you're persistent and consistent, and you show up every single day that you have the dream and the belief, and you see the finished product of where you're going, then you'll take the necessary actions to get to the finished product. And see, what you see in the mirror is how you see everybody else. And if you don't love you and you don't value your time, and this is not important to you when you see it in the mirror, well, nobody else will love you or value you either. You're the one that sets the pace, that sets the tone for your life. Now, Melody, on the video I watched on Saturday, it intrigued me crazy because this lady had been with her company for 31 years. And she was talking, and I screenshot everything you sent, and I stored it. I didn't send it nowhere. I wanted to talk to you about maybe possibly getting a video for this particular small team.
Yeah.
She had been there for 31 years. But she went right back to old school. She said the edification of the third party, something that me and you've been doing for years, three-way phone calls and three-way chats. Now we have the ability to cover a massive amount. I don't care if it's my sisters. They ain't going to believe me. And they've seen what I've done physically. They've seen the finances. They've seen all the private jets, all the stuff that I get to play in and do. And this crazy life I get to live. But I would have to get Melody McFarlane on the phone to talk to my sisters. And they blood kin. My mama sat right here. And they would have to hear it from Melody, one of you, before they'd actually believe me. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with people? So, Melody, I want you to elaborate what we did in the beginning, the massive amounts of conference calls, three ways, and now we got a Zoom, and we can see each other. But tell me, the lady was telling us, it intrigued me to death. I said, God, thank you. This social media's got things kind of crazy, not that you can't get the lead, but when you pop that third three-way phone call, that's when you start taking things to a new level, because that edification you give the person is going to help you close it. You're going to start to learn. You're learning while you're in action. You know the proper questions to ask them to find out what the solution, that you can create a solution for this problem. Melody, I was just so refreshed. Almost, you know, I don't cry, but almost broke into tears when I was Jesus, all these years has paid off. So if we elaborate on that a little bit, Mel.
Yeah. So, you know, we are in a people business. The bottom line, we are still in a people business, and we've gotten so far away from talking to people. And yes, social media is phenomenal. Okay. It's phenomenal. It will connect you so much quicker than you driving from here to Raleigh, North Carolina, or whatever. You can stay connected. So what we did in the past, when you have someone who is a prospect, someone who is thinking about getting involved in the business, get them on a three-way call or a messenger. You can do a video on Messenger. You can also do, a conversation chat with someone, but take that prospect and your upline triple or above. And in this group, you guys have access to Rusty, you have access to me, and get them to give this new person, this prospect, some things that will set them, give them credibility. So one of the things that you do is you edify the person. So say Rusty says, Mel, can you do a three-way call with me? I've got a really hot prospect. Her name is Sally, and she's really excited. Would you do a call with me? So I say, sure. So Rusty, before he calls me, with Sally, he's already told Sally, I'm going to put you in front of Melody McFarlane, because she's done this. She's at the top of the company. She's a top 10 money earner, and he's edifying me and saying, I'm so excited that you get to talk to her, and she's willing to talk to you. And then he will get her on the phone with me, and the three of us, he'll introduce me, and then my job is to turn around and make sure she knows that this is for real. This is the one of the best opportunities that they can get their hands on. I will edify our company. I will edify Mark Pentecost, and I will edify Rusty as her sponsor. You can't be getting on to a better team than getting on with Rusty Lackey and his wife, Robin. And so the purpose of that three-way is to let that person know, first of all, they're getting into a really good opportunity. They have access to top leaders, and that they care that the person who is bringing them in has some influence with a top earner. There's something powerful. It's like Rusty said, if you're trying to, if it's somebody who's a friend of yours or somebody who is a family member and you're trying to talk to them, they're not going to listen to you. They don't believe you, but they'll believe Rusty if you get them on the phone with Rusty, or they'll believe me if you get them on the phone with me, or they'll believe Carrie Gabriel if you get them on the phone with Carrie Gabriel, or they're going to believe Carmen if you get them on the phone with Carmen, or they're going to believe Carissa if you get them on the phone with Carissa. So it is all about credibility and edification, and when you do that, there's something powerful about that. And then that person, yes, I said your name, Carrie Gabriel. My gosh, you're amazing. I love it. So, people, I'm telling you what, y'all, we just got to be smarter. We've got the best company. We've got the best pay plan. We got the best products. So we just got to get smarter with utilizing our team and utilizing our leaders and getting people on a three-way conversation. It's powerful. It will seal the deal for you. And if that person is, if they've got anything going on up here, they're going to be impressed. And they're going to be a little bit more excited about the opportunity, because now you've got third-party edification, third-party credibility. And so we've kind of gotten away from doing that, and I think it's a big mistake. And so it was really nice to hear from seven-figure earners on that stage that you need to utilize it and all. There's more to building this business just than doing host to post. And don't get me wrong. If you're not doing host to post, you need to, because they are giving you exposure. And Rusty, I have got a whole, I got the live stream of that whole event. And somehow, some way we can do sessions where we're just going to start sharing some of that stuff, because it was amazing. The panel on $1 million earners was so powerful. The social media panel was so powerful. And then I've got a whole, so far, 7 sessions of how to build on social media without letting go of the personal touch, So I've got all that. So I'm excited because I'll share that with you guys. And I'm just trying to figure it out, how to do it. And whether it be on a Zoom and do a screen share, or whatever. But there is so much information out there. And some of you guys, you are doing what I call marinating. You're just kind of marinating. You're soaking it all in. You're taking it in. You're not too sure of yourself. Maybe you just got a little bit of, you're not certain. You've got a little bit of self-doubt or whatever. And if you're going to be effective, you need to know that you have the best company with the best products, with the best leadership, and that you can do this. And then when you get that belief, then people are going to come and follow you. So sometimes it takes a little bit to get that belief. And until then, you need to believe in people that have gone before you and made this thing happen. And look at all the people. It's not happening anywhere else in network marketing, y'all. It's not. We have got the most amazing opportunity, and we are on momentum right now. We are on a fast-moving train. I've never seen so many promotions. Mark says, and the way network marketing goes is a company will go up and then it kind of goes back down a little bit. And then it'll go up and it'll go back down and go up and go back down. Well, we're no different. We've done that too. But the thing is what we've been shown is we went up, we went a little down, but then we went up higher and then went a little down, then went up even higher and went maybe a little bit down, but not dipping down so far. We are on an uphill trend. And I want to say one more thing, Rusty. One of my very, very best friends is a huge influencer in the world of network marketing. And she was on that stage this weekend. And she's a great friend of mine. And we talk. We talk at least once a month. And she keeps up with what's going on. She's more of a consultant today. She goes around and she consults with network marketing companies, and she does a lot of work in Hong Kong. She's in China a lot. She's got huge organizations over there in Asia, and so she travels a lot around the world. But she follows us, and she's always at the Direct Selling Association meetings and things like that. She's met Mark, and she told me recently, she said, "You got one of the best CEOs in the world of network marketing." She said, "Do you know that?" And I said, "Well, I feel like he is." And she goes, "No, really, seriously." She said, for him to do what he is doing today, most CEOs of network marketing companies will die and go down with the ship rather than to change with the trends. And, we've seen that. That's what Mark's doing. She goes, he's so smart to get into the keto trend. You think, oh, they've let the wrap go onto the back burner. Well, yeah, because it was necessary, but it's still an amazing product. And you watch and see. We're going to bring that wrap back up to the forefront before long. When a whole nother group of people have come on board, they're going to see the power of that wrap. And that's what brought us all to where we are today. It's what made me a fortune. I've made millions of dollars because of that wrap. But now we got the focus on the keto. And for Mark to be able to change directions like that and to go with the trend, because see, it's not a fad. A fads fade away, but a trend will continue to go long term. And so he is so smart. And, some people are upset. We're getting rid of our vitals. We're getting rid of some of these other stable products that we have. Why? Well, because Mark's going to bring us even better. I mean, as good as that was, and we thought that was the best, he wouldn't get rid of it if it wasn't something better. So we got to kind of go with that. We've got to be open to going with the flow and changing. And when this gal told me that, she said, your CEO is a genius. And she said, you better hang on. She said, I feel, and this was back in January, she told me this. She said, I feel like your company's getting ready to explode. And look what's happening. She's in the know. This lady, I totally respect and admire her. And just to be able to call her friend, you know, when things are not going good or whatever, I can call her and pick up the phone and I'll say, please tell me this is happening across the board, not just our company or whatever, you know. And she knows what's going on in the world of network marketing. And for her to say that about Mark Pentecost just totally gave me so much excitement and confidence, seeing that the outside people in other network marketing ventures or whatever are noticing. They see us, you guys. So you better start praying for seasoned, quality people with integrity, those kind of networkers to come into your business. Because there are a lot of people that are looking for a network marketing home. They've been in network marketing, they've seen the bad side of it, and they are ready to find a company that is doing it the right way. And we're doing it the right way, you guys. So it's so exciting. So exciting.
You know, if you're a person of integrity, you'll draw the right people of integrity that can go forward. Address two things here, Melody. Melody and I both, as good as we are at what we do, we still utilize each other for three-way phone calls. We don't solo it. We're good, but we don't believe we're that good. We know the value of the third-party validation, credibility, and edification. But the one thing I heard, and it really inspired me when you were out in Vegas last weekend, is every one of the 1% top money earners in the industry, period, they've been with their companies long term. I didn't say, well, my new company or this other company. No, they all got in and made their mark, planted their flag, drew their line in the sand, and that's why they in the 1%ers. Is that true, Melody?
That is so true. You cannot hop from company to company to company and expect that people are going to continue to believe you. You lose your credibility.
Well, I'm going to make a statement here, Mel. I know it happened to you last year. We all have our ear and our pulse. We got offered a lot of money to leave It Works Global with 3 different companies. I know Melody's been offered a lot of money to leave, and we turned it down. And the money they offered us, we just kind of laughed at it, because when they start trying to buy you away, guess what happens? That means they're in trouble. And we've seen the people that took the money and left, now they're no longer with them because they're in trouble. But my integrity, I'm not a prostitute. Melody's not one. We're not for sale. We're the fighters that's going to go out and create the legendary legacy. You can't do that by quitting. Now, I can speak for Melody on this. She and Blair has been together since they were children. Rob and I have been together for 40 years now. Everything we do is long term, and I can't see me waking up every morning without this lady right here by my side for all these years. The only girl I ever went with in my life. That's pretty cool, I think. That gives me the ability and the platform to be very stern with these little boys out here that need to go back to mommy. Mommy made them weak, and they get out in the real world, they take that weakness off on their women. So I treasure this girl here. She's more precious to me than gold. Now, to piggyback that, Mark Pentecost, It Works Global, gave me my freedom. I've been a full-time father to 2 wonderful daughters. And by the way, Samantha's in the air right now. She would be here, but she got called out of here and she had to go. And I think that's pretty cool that she stepped up into this leadership role. But also, when you make your mind up and you make your mark in the sand, you're going to plant your flag, and everybody knows that you're serious about what you're doing, that you're unshakable in your faith, you're immovable in your vision and your hope, that you have the very best. When you become a product of what you're doing, people start to buy you at that point, because what? You've made a stand. After all these years, we had people on the phone with us yesterday. One guy in particular has 150,000 in his group. He's looking from Thailand or wherever, Philippines. And we asked him, I had Mike Patel on the phone for a person here on the call. And he said, you've been in the same company 18 years. I said, yes, sir, almost 18. I said, I'm going into my 18th year. I said, but all of my leadership, and I referred to Melody McFarlane, Linda Wilson, all the people that's been with us all those years that are still here. Now, we've all had our ups and downs. Teresa Garrett, several other people that's been with us long term. I said, the leadership that came with us in the early days, they're all still here. Now, some of them defected here and there, but they're coming back. And I said, but we planted our flag. He said, that credibility and that integrity is what we are after. I said, the man is in. He signed up. And those kind of people, the credibility, they're coming because they're looking for people that won't back down, won't run, and won't back down from adversity. That when adversity hits you, out of every adversity lies the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That when you focus on the benefit of the adversity that you're going through, whether it's physical, financial, or relationships, you have to make up your mind. God first, family second, fitness third, Money will always be a byproduct if you take care of the first three. And see, this is what I believe. I'm going to close this out because I know Melody's extremely busy. This is what I believe, and I'm not overly religious. I'm a little bit rawer than most. She knows me better, as good almost as my wife. But this is what I believe in my conviction. I believe before the foundation of the world, God Almighty chose each one of you for a particular purpose. And I believe that you were predestined for your sperm to hit the egg. I had a 9 billion more. And you was nothing more than a fertilized egg going in your mother's fallopian tube. God started throwing in the seeds of greatness, of talents, of gifts, and everything you need to be highly successful. Because when you were birthed into your blueprint, guess what happened? You were birthed in here for a particular purpose to get a particular job done, and you had everything you needed at birth. And since then, you've allowed people to dilute who you think you were, and you went to work on a job, and you agreed that that's all you're worth when they hand you your check. And when you signed it, that in your mind, you just agreed. You gave it your signature. This is all I'm worth. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'm telling you who you are and why you were put here. See, since the beginning of time till the end of time, there's never been nobody like each one of you. There's never been nobody like your children. There's never nothing like you. So to me, in my mind, that constitutes that you're priceless and you're one of a kind. And see, you through unconditional love, I'm having to share this with you because now when you look in the mirror, you got to see something a little different. You start to see the finished product that God put you here for your purpose. And see, now that constitutes the value of who you are and how much you truly matter. And once you know how much you truly matter and you hold yourself in that regard, you start to see other people how you see you. Now you become a mirror. And see, everything you've done up to now has been nothing more than a learned behavior, a social learned behavior. And say, once you start to see who you really are, when you look in the mirror, it is your job through unconditional love to share that with other people, to become that mirror so they can model. And you need to make them aware of who they are, that you were born with everything. It don't matter what your race is. It don't matter what your religion is. It don't matter what your gender is. You're born with the seeds of greatness and everything you need to go out and fight. And we've allowed people through the course of time and learn behaviors to dilute who we are. So we continually quit so we can start over. Therefore, you never create a legendary legacy because they're the controlling the outcome of your life. I promise you, if you listen to what Ms. McFarlane just told you, is nothing more than short of the gospel. We've been here a long time. And we're going to be here in a long time. And we're ready to harness up and fight with you right now. It's one thing I can say about Melody McFarlane. We will fight around the clock every day, 7 days a week until we get the job done. We don't quit when we get tired. We quit when we accomplish our objective. And that is the finished product to see you and all these kids I'm seeing on this live here, seeing your children secure the future where you're a full-time mommy and a full-time daddy, that you can instill your value system into your children instead of somebody else. If your kids ain't worth it, I don't know what is, but when I looked at Ellen and Samantha, they was this little, I kept missing everything to this job, and I'm missing the woman I love most. I've been with her since I was 16. They were worth it. I said, you know what? I had the skill. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going with Mark Pentecost. I'm going to draw my line in the sand. I'm going to stake the flag. And when he sold those houses just to see that I got my commissions, I said, I'm with you for life. You can't get rid of me. Ain't no amount of medication going to get me away from you, because everything he's told me for almost 18 years is totally materialized. He said, if you're willing to get in the trenches and fight and work with me, he said, I'll be sure we take care of your family. You'll create a legendary legacy. And once you start to create legendary legacy, you know what? You won't make an excuse. You'll be very proactive, because reactive is no longer part of who you are. It's not part of your DNA, because you just realized who you are. But now when you realize who you are, you realize what kind of opportunity you got. This keto coffee, this keto line of products is changing people's lives. It's changing people's lives to the tune. They couldn't get anything accomplished to this point, and they start just a couple cups a day. They make an unconscious lifestyle change because the product is that strong. Show me a stronger product in the marketplace, and you team that up with TFX. I got people literally melting. This is what's going to happen in the next 90 days. If you get committed to those products, there's going to be so much fat loss that the Earth's going to shift on its axis. They're going to call it global warming, but the Earth's going to shift on its axis because we're going to get rid of so much fat. And if you're ready to go and take this ride that Melody and I have worked our asses off all these years, put you in a position to win, because what do me and Melody expect? We expect to win when we show up. In fact, we don't know how to do anything but win, because why? We don't quit till we win, and we ain't going to quit till you win. And you know what? That is a promise for me, but that's also a promise from Mr. Pentecost. Melody, what is the last closing statement you talk about right now? Because this team right here is literally on fire. they're so crazy on fire. I'm gonna have to get a fire truck and get a fire license and buy me a fire truck to hose some of them down. So what
I
would you tell
love
these
it.
people to get moving forward, to rank up this month, to set the tone for their entire life, for their future?
Oh my gosh, it is the most exciting time in the history of our company right now. And what I would say is put your fears, your doubts, your whatever, get rid of them, put them on the shelf. Don't worry about what anybody thinks, and you go for it. If not now, when are you going to do it? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? All you got to do is open your mouth and start talking to people. You know, get the information in your head that you've got the best company with the best products, with the best leadership, and then just go for it. Don't listen to people that are telling you, that thing won't work or whatever. You've got to become so strong that when they do something like that, like you're a battleship and they're like just throwing spitballs at a battleship. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't phase you. You don't care. Next, 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 next. This is a total numbers game, guys. And the ones that are going to join you are going to join you. And the ones that aren't. But don't tick them off. Turn them into a customer. And later on down the road, customers make the best distributors. So just keep being excited and go for it right now. Don't wait. Do it now. Do it now.
To piggyback off of what you said, I had a person last week said, I'm not sure that thing will work. I said, well, and he didn't realize how long I've been doing it. I said, what are you going to do on Monday morning? He said, well, I have to go to work. I said, well, I hadn't woke up on Monday mornings and went to work for almost 18 years. So evidently, if you're going to wait and see if it works for me, it's been working for me for a very long time. And in fact, you know, I hate you're going to have to go to work Monday, but I kind of enjoy it. I don't live for the weekend and the six-pack. I live for Mondays, because when I'm on the lake playing, or like the Saturday, I'll be in the mountains of Virginia riding my horses. And you, it ain't many of you out there when I'm here. I can navigate so much easier on Mondays than the rest of you at work. I kind of like that. And you're down at the lake skiing with your children. Ain't nobody making no waves on my lake. So make up your mind that you deserve to roll over on Monday mornings instead of roll out. Melody, I love you.
I love you too.
I love everybody here, and my love is unconditional. But this is 3 things that Melody and I want to manifest in your life. We want you to be happy. We want you to be healthy. And when you're healthier, you'll be happy. And when those two merge, you'll always be successful. Guys, I love you. Until in the morning at 9:30 on my live, make this the best night you've ever had.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you. Hey, Teresa. Love y'all.
Love you guys.
Hey, I'll upload this on the YouTube later tonight and send it to everybody.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks.
Bye, Robin.
Hi, Mel.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, girl.
All right. Bye-bye.